The auntie at my local mosque kisses me on both cheeks, holds me at arm's length, looks me up and down and asks, "Hatitgawizi imta?" which roughly translates as, "When are you getting married?" As if there are men hanging from trees waiting to be picked by wandering women. I sure ain't never seen any orchard like that before. And if I ever do come across a man waiting to be picked, he's never quite ripe enough. Leaves a bitter taste in the mouth that tells you should have left him on the branch. Either that, or he's too ripe, waited too long, tasted too much, and no one wants fruit that's on the turn. She looks at me again and says, "Anti mishayza," which roughly translates as, "Don't you want a groom?" i.e., don't you want a man? Don't you want a love? Don't you want to be a wife? I want to tell her that if she'd raised her sons better, I probably would be a wife by now. But instead, I smile politely and tell her I'm waiting for a specific kind of love. I'm waiting for a love that buys new bed sheets just because you're coming over that night. A love that stops messaging your friends because every time your phone lights up, you think it's them and you can't handle that level of disappointment. A love that never leaves you on 2 blue ticks. A love that always replies eventually, no matter what. A love that writes 365 letters just so you can see love every day of the year. A love that buys smooth orange juice, even though they like the ones with the juicy bits. A love that buys a train ticket they can't afford. A love that buys a new outfit every time you're meeting up, even if you're only going for coffee, because you always want to be new for them, come through for them, change your worldview for them, change, exchange, rearrange everything you ever knew for them. I tell her I'm waiting for a love that makes a god out of me. I tell her if I had a love like the love I've given to the men who have gone before, I'd be a god by now. I'd be a kingdom of heaven. I'd be heaven, because you cannot love someone like that without elevating them to new heights. You cannot place beating hearts in human hands without a transfer of power happening, which is to say, my love tastes a lot like electricity and it will light you up. It will give you power. It will make you powerful. And I wonder, what if I had had a love like that? What would I have been able to do? Where would it have taken me? What new planet would I have planted a flag on? I could have walked to the point where snow meets the clouds and know that I had moved mountains. I could have sailed to the point where the sea meets the sky and know that I had sailed stormier seas. I could have walked to the point where the horizon kisses the shore and know that sunsets are a lot like love, and if you watch enough of them, you can really believe in it. If I had had a love like the love I've given to the men that have gone before, I would have done so much, been so many women, been less shell and more bombshell exploding life, had less apologies in my mouth, less baggage under my eyes and more stamps in my passport. I would have cried less and slept more. I would have been belly full and less hungry for a love that was only giving me scraps. If I had a love like the love I've given to the men who've gone before, I would have done so many things. It would have been the wind on my back. It would have been courage, freedom. A love like that can change you, rebirth you. And now I know why he never let me go when he should have. Because who would ever want to leave a love like that? Thank you very much for having me, guys.